Hey, Deuce, where were we?
Correct. That's what he hears.
What were we on? The mic connector?
Yeah, who got a mic connector?
Nah, I ain't got that adapter. And I got plenty of 5-pin mic plugs for you. I got 3 of them sitting here, but I did take it off that mic the other night, and I wired that up to a 4-pin. But if you need mic plugs, man, I got like 3 or 4 5-pin Cobra unitons here.
Telling you, man, that wind is kicking up, man. That wind is kicking up, man. That shit ain't no joke. We got heavy wind. I don't advise you to put that antenna up any higher, Richie. Because that hurricane coming up the coast is going to snap it.
Richie.
Oh, we're so worried about Richie's station, his amp, whether he has a lease or not, his housing, and now the height of his antenna. Well, guess what? Unfortunately, the brackets didn't make it here today, but once they do make it here, that will go up. Yes, sir. Just the way it stood up before through all the hurricanes and all the storms. It'll be just fine. Although your signal might go up 1 to 3 S units on the receive.
I keep telling them, broom handles sticks are not good for antenna mast.
Well, you know, my antenna mast come from solid signal distributors. They're 1.25 heavy duty. I'm on the side.
You need to use galvanized steel, not wooden broomsticks.
All right, you use galvanized steel on your antenna assembly, and I'd love to be your neighbor. Go ahead, use galvanized steel, I dare you.
He's using curtain rods.
So what's wrong with galvanized steel? You tell me what's wrong with galvanized steel. Am I to understand this is not the procedure? Meanwhile, that's what they use in professional installations, and you're telling me don't use it? Okay, whatever you say, Richie. Broomstick handles, you never see me erect.
We never seen you erect anything. We just hear you dreaming of Richie's erections. And no, man, in citizen band radio, I would never use steel. Now, professional band, business band, FM, UHF, VHF, sure I would.
Well, it's a matter of you having the ability to pay for it, to afford it. That's what it comes down to. You say, if you're going to use that cheap Radio Shack garbage, that stuff, that metal, first of all, it's not galvanized. Number one, it rusts very easily. It's not treated.
He's just dying to get into convo with me. Watch this.
So if you know about the properties of pipes used to erect antennas, you would understand what I'm talking about. But since you don't have a clue what I'm talking about to you, you're going to basically argue with me. It has nothing to do whether it's for a commercial or a citizen or amateur. A mast is a mast. So just by making that statement you just made, just shows that you really don't know what you're talking about. If you're going to use the proper material, use it for any type of installation. It doesn't have to be for a particular installation. But anyway, what do I know, Richie? You know, when I put something up, it withstands Hurricane Sandy without a blemish. I don't know, Richie. Anyway, I'll be on the side. I'm trying to teach you something there, but you obviously don't want to learn.
Well, Mr. Enforcer, all joking aside, to be honest with you, you said it's not a question of what I'm using, it's a question of what I can afford. I can afford whatever I want to buy. What I decide to use, I use. I mean, if you want to use Radio Shack mast, or you want to use that other thing, I'm sure real well it will handle the weight of a 3-stack, although I know nothing from Radio Shack will. You're lucky you could stack 2 of them. But inside any event, I've run all my antennas with 3 mast stacks, and I will afford and do what I can do. When I say I do something, Mr. Enforcer, since day one, not only do I do it, but I demonstrate it and show and prove it in a video. We've heard about your Stage 3, your Dutch Star antenna, and your Wizard Box for 3 months already. So I guess you can't afford it. It's a question of what you can do and what you can afford. All we hear from you is plea cops. All we hear from you is worrying about my station. Don't worry about my station. There's a video gate of my antenna system right now with its 2 pipes. When I raise it up, you will get another one. Those 5 straps you see holding that assembly, well, those are chimney straps. Not my ideal. I back up the clamps with 1/4-inch coated galvanized steel. Cable, that is. And, I believe it'll stand just fine. Now, I do recall you talking about how Sandy took down one of your antennas and snapped it up. The IMAX, the first IMAX I got you to buy on Utica Avenue. I understand it snapped. Well, I guess if you don't know what you're doing, shit like that will happen. Unfortunately, I've never had any of my antennas snap. Unfortunately, when I put something up, it stays. Unfortunately, since I demonstrate, say I'm going to do it and produce a show and prove of it, I guess I could afford it just fine. The king of New York City. And there's nothing you could teach me except how to be a wondering, wishing homosexual. Richie's back quiet, and I ain't willing to learn that.
First of all, the antenna snapped with...
First of all, here comes the Cobb stories, slob stories. Let's get on what he could afford now. Where is the Death Star antenna? Where is Stage 3, Stage 2? Where is the Wizard? What's stopping him?
Did not come down. It was the antenna itself snapped where the radome begins. That means it was a part of the...
Boy, he's stuttering so long to put these words together. I guess the truth's got to be thought about.
So, there you go. Rich, anyway, I like the way you try to manipulate what I say, but like I said, what I've learned over the years, you put it this way, you can never learn what I've learned. But for the simple fact,
I don't think he has no idea. I don't give a fuck what he learned. I know what he's learning from me. How to suck dick and be a wishful homosexual.
That comes out of your mouth. It just amazes me that people even follow you. When you say different length of coax changes your SWR, you know how silly that sounds? 50 ohms is 50 ohms. That's what the radio wants.
I don't think I ever said that. I don't think I said it changes your coax. I said if you want the proper coax reading and you do not want that length to be resonant, acting like an antenna before your signal gets to the antenna, you will use 12-foot 1-inch multiples for the most accuracy reading of SWR and no resonancy on RF off that wire. The king is clear.
The basics, so you can comprehend what I'm saying. You follow me so far, sir?
Yes, by all means. Okay, I gotta go to work now. Peace.
Okay. I hope you learned something. Anyway, I'll be on the side.
I'm gonna label the video gate Enforces Teachings. Don't you worry about that.
Well, I'm happy to help someone who wants to learn. If there's something someone could teach me out here, I'll be happy to listen. I'm not saying I know everything. But if I hear false information, I'm going to try to make the corrections. Because there are a lot of rumors and a lot of assumptions when it comes to two-way radio. All right, that's all. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'll be on the side. Conductive conversation. This is the way it should be.
Yeah, it really should be. And to be honest with you, cutting your coax is not going to change your SWR at all. It's going to give you a falsified reading. The only way to change an SWR is add an antenna. Okay, what I said about coax length is if you would like to ensure that you have the most accurate reading at the bottom, and you want to make sure your coax is not acting like an antenna, you will use 12-foot 1-inch multiples. If you don't know where to learn that or find that, I'm sure a couple of books will help you. One being the Screwdriver Dummies Guide by Lou Franklin, the most highest acclaimed FCC tech in the land, to the point that the FCC made a special license just for him. If you also go to a book by Sterling from the 1950s, all about radio, you will learn something else. So you can say to me, you love hearing out here. I'm sorry, I don't preach anything that's told to me. I preach stuff that's in print, can be backed up without my mouth, and has been proven certified fact. Yeah, we're going to label this video gate Enforces Schooling. Richie Club.
I'm glad you're willing to learn. This is progress.
Yeah.
I knew my therapy will help sooner or
Gotcha.
later.